Hello, my name is Jonathan Hargrove, and this is my Capstone portfolio presentation. Table of contents, professional statement and qualifications, academic artifacts, academic and professional depth, and my defense. Professional statement and qualifications. My plan to combine my degrees to open up my own business, provide industrial services to disabled and low-income veterans. I have a degree in organizational leadership. I'm a certified diesel mechanic, pursuing automotive technician's degree. 6 years active duty in the Army, maintained fleets of up to 100 vehicles in and out of combat zones, supervised up to 5 entry-level technicians, and trained as a technical inspector. Issues in organizational leadership. What is servant leadership? A person who is both a leader and a servant. Servant leadership is when a person manages and leads others as well as serves those who work for them. New to the business world. Courage, righteousness, moderation, and wisdom are pillars of servant leadership. Organizations recognize the importance of servant leadership, and they're implementing it into the workplace. Why is servant leadership so effective? Because of the reciprocation from employees and because of the transformation that happens in the workplace with emphasis on individual growth. How it creates satisfaction and increases performance. Employees feel like they matter more opportunities for growth via education and training within the organization, and employees will feel the need to reciprocate their leaders' actions by working harder. Data-driven decision-making 1. Data-driven decision-making workbook is designed to familiarize leaders with data collecting and analyzing to improve their organization. Action question. It's a tactical question about a general area leaders want to develop. For example, staff development. Action question examples. How to improve staff training and efficiency. How to identify talent. How to implement peer reviews. And how to make performance reviews more effective. Finding the right metrics. This helps organizations determine if they are making the right decisions. Metric examples would be number of participants and percent of satisfaction. Data-driven decision-making 2. Data-driven decision-making memo. Designed to assess knowledge of analyzing data. Analysis. Analyze sales data of company employees. Graphs and charts to track data gathered. Created metrics to analyze. We then created graphs and charts to turn data into usable information. Recommendations. We made and provided recommendations based on the analysis so that the company can improve sales. Behavior ethics and leadership 1. What ethics means to me? To me, ethics means to act on a higher standard. It's also what a person believes to be right or wrong. Justice as fairness. It's a concept created by John Rawls and is one of my favorite ethical concepts. Philosophical and political concept used to organize society. This theory states that fairness and justice should apply to any and everyone, no matter their social or professional standing. Altruism and servant leadership are also some of my favorite ethical concepts. These two concepts coincide with one another. They both put the needs of others first, and they both entail selfless service and sacrifice for others. Behavior ethics and leadership 2. GM case study. There are many issues with this corporation, but one of the biggest ones was difficulty paying out pensions. They were facing bankruptcy. There was issues with leadership and poor leadership quality. Change management. GM implemented transformational leadership. They also needed proper management of organizational changes. They followed an 8-step plan, which was to create a sense of urgency, have enough influence to lead change, create a new vision, clearly communicate that vision, empower others, give short-term rewards towards new visions, and continue improvements and adjustments, along with reinforcing change. SWOT: strength, weaknesses, opportunity, and threats. Some of GM's strengths were new strategy and vision, global presence, large number of educated employees, well-performing products, and minimal service complaints. Some of GM's weaknesses were high cost structure, bureaucratic business culture, product recalls, and sensitivity to oil prices. Some opportunities were demand of hybrid vehicles. They are expanding globally. They have low interest rates and new styles and models. Some of the threats to GM are the demand for light vehicles have declined in the US. Raw material prices are going up. There's a rise in fuel prices, and healthcare costs are going up. Management Theory 1. Checkpoint Veteran. Checkpoint Veteran is a nonprofit organization that provides outreach services for veterans and their families. Innovation. Checkpoint Veteran provides services not typically offered by nonprofit organizations for veterans. For example, health and wellness and industrial services. Checkpoint Veteran plans to create a one-stop facility for all services in one centralized location. This will eliminate the need for veterans to travel to multiple facilities for assistance. In order to do this, process-focused measures will need to be in place. Checkpoint Veteran will have to track success rates using milestone progress measures. They will implement the Kaizen method, which includes small incremental changes as needed. And they're going to have to make sure the quality of service is at the highest standard. They'll also have to implement a plan of action. They're going to have a corporate level plan to oversee the entire operation. There's going to have to be separate plans of actions for every section of the organization. They're going to have to make sure that they properly execute the plan of action. Management Theory 2. Misfit Motor Pool. Misfit Motor Pool is an organization owned by veterans for veterans that I created. As a veteran, I feel it's my duty to help other veterans in the only way that I know how, by providing an automotive service. Being as Misfit Motor Pool is a veteran organization, I plan on housing another nonprofit organization. This other nonprofit organization will provide vouchers so veterans can receive free services. Misfit Motor Pool is an innovative organization. We provide an industrial service to disabled and low-income veterans and their families. Not many other veteran organizations do that. What we are going to provide is a do-it-yourself automotive service. Misfit Motor Pool will provide all the base space and all the necessary equipment for veterans to service their own vehicles at a fraction of the price most other shops charge. Academic and professional depth. Capstone 2 final project. Nonprofit organizations and federal funding. Funding is essential to survivability for a nonprofit organization. There are many requirements for federal funding for a nonprofit organization. Lots of bureaucracy is in place, and usually there are letters of requirements. Political restrictions. There are no political restrictions for nonprofits to receive funding. Relationship between services and funding. There's no correlation between services rendered and funding received. Nonprofits and raising funds on their own. Nonprofit organizations can raise any amount of funds on their own, as long as they meet the requirements of donating organizations, which will usually require a nonprofit to spend a certain amount of money on certain things or spend the money in certain places.